The sky above Earth changed without warning. It did not explode. It did not burn. It simply went dark. Across the planet, people stopped and looked up. The blue sky was still there, but something felt wrong. Satellites in orbit were the first to notice it. One by one, their signals began to disappear. Cameras went blind. Radar screens filled with empty space. Then the silence began. In space above the moon, something massive had arrived. It was not one ship. It was an entire alien fleet. Thousands of enormous vessels spread across Earth's orbit like a closing fist. They moved with perfect control, slow and calm as if time itself obeyed them. No engines burned. No weapons fired. Yet their presence alone felt heavy, crushing. Within minutes, every major space agency confirmed the same truth. Earth was surrounded. Military bases went into full alert. Fighter jets launched from runways across the world. Missiles were armed but not fired. Generals waited for orders that did not come. Because no one knew what to do. For the first time in human history, there was no enemy country to blame. No borders. No politics. Just one planet, and something far more powerful watching it. Then global communication systems began to fail. Television channels cut to static. Internet connections slowed, then froze. Power grids flickered in major cities. Airplanes were ordered to land immediately. Hospitals switched to emergency power. Panic spread faster than any virus. People ran into the streets, staring at the sky. Some cried. Some prayed. Some simply stood still, unable to understand what they were seeing. And still, no attack came. That was the worst part. In underground command centers, human leaders gathered in emergency meetings. Screens showed the alien fleet from every angle. The ships were massive, larger than cities, smooth and dark with no visible weapons. Scientists spoke first. These ships are not following known physics, one said quietly. They are not using engines, another added. Our weapons cannot lock onto them, a third admitted. Military commanders clenched their fists. Earth's most powerful missiles were useless. Nuclear weapons could not even reach their targets. Humanity had prepared for war for centuries. But not for this. Then, every remaining screen on Earth turned black. For 3 seconds, the planet was completely silent. And then a message appeared. Simple white symbols translated instantly into every human language. People of Earth, you are now under observation. Do not resist. The message was calm, cold, certain. No threats. No warnings. No mercy. World leaders tried to respond. Messages were sent into space using every frequency known to humanity. Radio waves. Lasers. Quantum signals. No reply came. Instead, the alien ships moved closer. Not aggressively. Not quickly. Just closer. Like predators circling wounded prey. In cities, people felt it before they saw it. Gravity shifted slightly. The air felt heavy. Some reported headaches. Others felt sudden fear for no clear reason. Above the oceans, alien vessels hovered silently, blocking the sun. Shadows stretched across entire continents. Human weapons systems activated automatically. And failed. Missiles shut down mid-launch. Drones lost control and fell into the sea. Fighter jets vanished from radar without explosions, without debris, as if they had never existed. The aliens were not fighting. They were disabling. And that terrified humanity more than destruction ever could. In one final attempt, Earth's United Command sent a clear message into space. This is Earth. We seek peaceful contact. State your intentions. This time the response came instantly. Your species is classified as unstable. Your planet is now contained. Remain compliant. Contained. The word echoed through every command room, every city, every mind. Earth was no longer free. Above the planet, the alien fleet completed its formation. Ships locked into place, forming an unbroken ring around Earth. No ship entered. No ship left. Escape was impossible. In space, the moon disappeared behind alien metal. The stars themselves seemed to fade. Humanity was cornered. And still, no attack came. Hours passed. Then days. The aliens did not bomb cities. They did not kill civilians. They simply watched. Controlled. Waited. Some humans believed surrender was the only option. Others believed resistance was suicide. But deep beneath the surface of the Earth, far from alien sensors, something else was happening. In a place built long before the invasion, a group of human leaders gathered in silence. No speeches. No cameras. No fear on their faces. Only focus. One man finally spoke. They think war has rules, he said. No one replied. He continued calmly. They think we will play their game. A quiet pause followed. Then he added one sentence that would change everything. What if we don't? The room fell silent. Above them the alien fleet waited, unaware. Earth did not burn. That confused everyone. The alien fleet stayed in position, unmoving, silent. No bombs. No lasers. No invasion forces landing on the ground. From space it looked peaceful. Too peaceful. On Earth, fear grew stronger with every passing hour. Without satellites, weather systems failed. Navigation collapsed. Ships at sea were lost. Planes stayed grounded. The world's digital eyes were gone, and humanity felt blind for the first time in centuries. Cities ran on backup power. Food supply chains slowed. Governments struggled to control panic. People asked the same question again and again. Why aren't they attacking? Military analysts searched for answers. Some believed the aliens were studying human behavior. Others feared something worse. They are waiting, one general said quietly. Waiting for what? Someone asked. For us to break. The alien fleet tightened its grip. Ships moved closer to Earth's atmosphere, just enough to be seen clearly from the ground. At night, the sky was filled with dark shapes and cold lights. Children cried. Adults stayed awake, staring upward. Every human knew one truth now. There was no help coming. Earth's weapons remained useless. Attempts to test fire missiles failed instantly. Even nuclear systems refused to respond. It was as if the aliens could reach into human machines and turn them off at will. And then the aliens made their next move. Across the world, communication screens came back online. Not human systems. Alien systems. A single symbol appeared everywhere, followed by translated text. Compliance phase begins. That was all. No explanation. Within minutes, strange effects were reported. Power grids adjusted themselves. Traffic systems changed patterns. Communication channels were redirected. The aliens were not destroying infrastructure. They were taking control of it. Hospitals received uninterrupted power. Food distribution systems were stabilized. Crime rates dropped as surveillance increased. To some, it felt like order. To others, it felt like a cage. Human leaders realized something terrifying. The aliens were not conquerors. They were wardens. They believed humanity could not govern itself. In one city, a protest formed. Thousands gathered in the streets, shouting, waving flags, demanding freedom. An alien ship moved overhead. No weapons fired. Instead, gravity shifted slightly. The crowd was gently pressed to the ground, unable to stand, unable to move. No pain. No injuries. Just control. After 10 minutes, the pressure vanished. The ship left. The message was clear. Resistance was allowed. Disobedience was not. Across Earth, morale collapsed. Soldiers questioned orders. Civilians questioned leaders. Some begged for surrender. Others demanded war even if it meant extinction. Humanity stood divided. But beneath the noise, something else was happening. In hidden facilities, deep under mountains and oceans, systems that the aliens had not detected came online. Old systems. Analog systems. Machines never connected to global networks. Humans had learned long ago that technology could fail. And so they had built backups. The secret council met again. Reports flowed in. Alien behavior patterns. Fleet movement cycles. Energy signatures. They are limiting themselves, a scientist said. Limiting? Yes. They avoid civilian harm. They follow strict engagement rules. A military commander leaned forward. Rules, he repeated. The room grew quiet. Another officer spoke. They assume we will respond like them. Predictable. Controlled. The lead strategist nodded slowly. That's their mistake. Above Earth, the alien fleet continued its silent watch. Their leaders were confident. Every known species broke when contained like this. Every species surrendered. Humanity, they believed, would be no different. What they did not understand was one simple truth. Humans were dangerous not when they were strong, but when they were desperate. And Earth was running out of time. In a forgotten bunker, a single system powered up fully for the first time in decades. No signal left the facility. No energy spike reached orbit. The aliens did not notice. On a dark screen, a human-made symbol appeared. Not a weapon. Not a missile. A plan. One of the council members finally spoke the words no alien would ever expect. We will not fight their war, he said. We will break it. The room agreed in silence. Outside, the alien fleet held Earth in its grip, unaware that the rules they trusted were about to be used against them. The alien fleet believed everything was under control. From their command ships, Earth looked calm. No global attacks. No nuclear launches. No organized resistance. Human governments were quiet. Military stayed inside their bases. To the aliens, this meant success. Their species had done this many times before. They followed a simple system. Surround the planet. Cut off advanced weapons. Take control of communication. Apply pressure but not pain. Every species broke. Eventually, the alien commanders studied human history carefully. Wars, revolutions, weapons, numbers. They saw chaos, emotion, violence. They classified humans as highly unstable, but not clever enough to break containment. That assumption was their greatest mistake. Because humans were not acting randomly. They were watching. Inside underground facilities, far from alien sensors, teams of scientists and military planners worked together. No phones. No wireless signals. Everything was written by hand or spoken face to face. Old maps covered the walls. Not just Earth maps. Space maps. They are following patterns, one analyst said. Perfect circles. Perfect timing. A scientist nodded. They value order. Efficiency. Predictability. Another voice added, rules? That word came up again. Rules of war. Humans had rules too. What? But humans also had a long history of breaking them when survival was at stake. The Secret Council focused on one thing above all else: alien behavior. The aliens never attacked civilians. They never destroyed cities. They never damaged the planet itself. They controlled but they did not kill. To humans this seemed merciful. To the Council it felt like weakness. They think war is a controlled process, the lead strategist said. They think rules protect both sides. A general frowned. Rules protect them. Exactly. Alien war doctrine was clear. War was a system. A calculation. Damage must be limited. Resources preserved. Planets kept intact. Human war doctrine, on the other hand, was messy. Humans used fear. Lies. Traps. Sacrifice. Humans fought dirty when cornered. And Earth was very cornered. Above the planet, alien ships adjusted their positions slightly, maintaining perfect coverage. Their sensors searched constantly for threats. They found none. That made them comfortable. The aliens began the next phase of containment. They sent another message. Humanity. Your species shows signs of resistance. This behavior is inefficient. Accept supervision. Some humans saw this as an offer. Others saw it as an insult. In one city, a human scientist watched the message on a screen and smiled faintly. They think resistance is always loud, he said. They don't understand quiet resistance. Deep in space, alien analysts debated the situation. Some questioned why humans had not surrendered yet. Others argued that time would solve everything. They are emotional, one alien commander said. Emotion fades under control. What the aliens did not understand was that human emotion did not fade. It adapted. In small rooms, humans studied alien ship movement. They noticed something strange. The fleet never fully powered its weapons. Energy systems stayed in low combat mode. Why? Because the aliens believed Earth could not fight back. Their shields were strong. Their technology superior. They did not expect an attack. And because of their rules, they did not prepare for one. Humans noticed another detail. Alien ships avoided Earth's magnetic poles. They avoided certain orbital paths. They avoided unpredictable movement. They preferred clean, safe geometry. That was rule number one. Predictability. The Council understood now. The aliens believed that war must be understandable. Humans believed war must be won. In an old military bunker, a young officer asked a dangerous question. What if we attack something they don't consider a target? The room went silent. A scientist replied slowly, they don't expect attacks without warning. Or without purpose. Another officer added, they don't expect civilians to be part of war. The strategist looked around the room. We will not use civilians, he said firmly. But we will use civilian tools. That was the moment the plan truly began. Humans started preparing systems that had never been designed for combat. Weather satellites, cargo drones, mining equipment in orbit, communication relays. Nothing that looked like a weapon. Everything that could become one. The aliens watched human cities carefully. They saw no military buildup. No missile launches. They relaxed. Alien commanders reported success to their higher council. Containment stable, they said. Human resistance minimal. They were wrong. In one hidden facility, a countdown started. Not to an explosion. to a signal. A signal designed not to damage ships, but to confuse them. Humans had learned something important from history. You do not need to destroy the enemy to win. You only need to make them uncertain. The aliens trusted their sensors completely. Those sensors were advanced beyond human understanding. But they relied on patterns. Humans specialized in breaking patterns. The first test was small. A human-made object, classified as harmless space debris, drifted near the edge of alien sensor range. It was slow, cold, silent. Alien systems ignored it. Then suddenly it changed course. Not fast, not aggressive, just enough to break expectation. Alien sensors flagged it as an error. The object corrected itself and returned to normal motion. Alien analysts dismissed it. Human debris, they said. Irrelevant. But humans smiled. The test worked. Their systems could not handle unpredictability well. That night another test followed. A human satellite sent out a brief signal pulse. Not a message. Not an attack. Just noise. Alien systems adjusted automatically to filter it out. Then a second pulse came. Different frequency. Different timing. Alien systems adjusted again. The process repeated. Slowly. Quietly. The aliens believed this was harmless interference. Humans knew better. They were teaching the alien systems to react. To adapt. To grow slower. While the alien fleet focused on maintaining control, humanity was setting a trap. A trap that did not break any obvious rule. A trap that did not look like war. In the council chamber, the lead strategist spoke again. They think war begins with fire, he said. We will begin with confusion. A general nodded. And when they realize it's war? The strategist's voice was calm. It will already be too late. Above Earth, the alien fleet glowed softly in the dark. They believed the planet was quiet. They believed humanity was afraid. They believed the rules protected them. They did not know that humans were about to break every one of those rules. Without firing a single shot, the alien fleet remained calm. From their perspective, nothing had changed. Earth was quiet. No missiles. No fleets. No open rebellion. The planet continued to function under supervision. Human leaders followed instructions. Cities stayed intact. The aliens believed the containment was working perfectly. They did not see the truth. They did not see that humanity had stopped thinking like a weaker species. They had started thinking like survivors. Deep beneath Earth's surface, inside facilities built decades earlier, human engineers worked without rest. These places were invisible to alien sensors. They used thick stone, water shielding, and old materials that did not reflect modern scans. Most importantly, they used no wireless signals. Pens scratched paper. Voices carried plans. Switches were flipped by hand. To the aliens, it was as if nothing existed there at all. The hidden weapon was not a single machine. It was a system. A system built from forgotten technology, civilian tools, and human creativity. Humans understood something the aliens did not. Advanced technology often becomes dependent on perfection. Human technology had learned to survive failure. The council watched reports come in. Alien ships followed strict schedules. Energy cycles repeated precisely. Sensor sweeps occurred at fixed intervals. Perfect order. Perfect weakness. A scientist pointed at a projection. They are synchronized, she said. Across the entire fleet. The strategist narrowed his eyes. Then they share information instantly. Yes, she replied. Which means if we disturb one, we disturb many. That was the moment humanity chose its target. Not a ship. Not a weapon. But coordination. The hidden weapon was designed to attack something the aliens trusted completely, their own systems. Humans did not try to overpower alien shields. They went around them. Civilian satellites, long thought useless, were quietly repositioned using manual controls. Cargo drones in orbit were adjusted slightly off course. Mining equipment near asteroids was activated for maintenance. Nothing aggressive. Nothing suspicious. The aliens observed all of it and ignored it, because none of it matched their definition of war. Then the first phase began. At a precise moment, dozens of harmless signals were sent into space. They carried no messages. No commands. Just noise. Alien systems filtered them easily. But humans sent more. Each one slightly different. Different timing. Different strength. Different direction. Alien systems adapted. As designed. That was the trap. The more the alien systems adapted, the more complex their own processing became. Their machines began working harder, calculating more possibilities. Humans watched carefully. They did not rush. They waited until the alien fleet systems reached a critical point. Then they changed everything. A single signal was sent. Not loud. Not powerful. Perfectly timed. Alien sensors reacted instantly. But this time, the response conflicted with earlier adjustments. For a fraction of a second, alien coordination faltered. Only a fraction. But in war, fractions matter. One alien ship drifted slightly out of position. Just enough to break formation. Inside the alien command structure, alerts flashed. Minor error detected. Correcting. The ship returned to position. The aliens dismissed it. But the humans did not stop. They repeated the process. Slowly. Patiently. Each time a different ship. Each time a different disturbance. The alien fleet began spending more energy maintaining perfect order. Their systems grew strained. The humans were learning how the alien mind worked. They did not react well to uncertainty. They did not improvise. They corrected. And correction took time. Meanwhile, the hidden weapon grew stronger. Artificial intelligence systems, old, simple, and isolated, were activated. These AIs were not connected to global networks. They learned only from direct input. Human analysts fed them alien behavior data. Patterns. Responses. Delays. The AIs began predicting alien reactions before they happened. For the first time, humanity could see the alien fleet not as an unstoppable force, but as a machine. And machines could be broken. In orbit, the aliens noticed something strange. Energy usage across the fleet was increasing. Not dangerously, but noticeably. Commanders questioned it. Possibly environmental interference, one suggested. Another dismissed it. Humans lacked the capability to affect our systems. That belief was still strong. Too strong. Then the second phase began. A group of old space probes, forgotten relics from early human exploration, were activated. They were slow. Weak. Barely functional. Alien sensors barely noticed them. Until they changed direction. Not toward the fleet, but through it. The probes drifted into the spaces between alien ships. Their metal bodies reflected signals in strange ways. Shadows appeared where none should exist. Alien sensors hesitated. False readings appeared. For the first time, alien ships could not perfectly see each other. The fleet slowed slightly to compensate. Humans smiled. That was rule number 2 broken. Alien fleets always maintained full awareness. Now they didn't. On Earth, no one saw this happening. No explosions. No announcements. No celebrations. The war was invisible. Inside the council chamber, the strategist watched the data calmly. Phase 3? Someone asked. He nodded. Begin. At once, human systems executed the next step. Weather control satellites adjusted upper atmosphere conditions slightly. Magnetic fields shifted in controlled patterns. Solar reflection arrays redirected light in tiny ways. Individually, these changes were harmless. Together, they created chaos. Alien sensors began reporting conflicting information. Distances were wrong. Angles were wrong. Timing was wrong. The alien fleet compensated again. But this time the corrections made things worse. The more they corrected, the more unstable their coordination became. Alien commanders felt something unfamiliar. Doubt. What is happening? One demanded. Their systems could not explain it. Because the problem was not physical. It was conceptual. The aliens believed war followed logic. Humans were using confusion as a weapon. Then it happened. One alien ship failed to synchronize fully. Just one. Its shield flickered. Only for a moment. Human systems detected it instantly. The council had agreed on one rule. No direct attack yet. But a test. A small one. A human mining laser, never meant for combat, fired briefly from a disguised orbital platform. It did not strike the ship. It passed close enough to interact with the flickering shield. The alien ship lost power. Not destroyed. Not damaged. Just dark. The ship drifted silently. Alien alarms screamed across the fleet. What just happened? That should be impossible. Human systems went silent immediately. No follow-up. No signal. Nothing. The alien fleet froze. They did not know how to react. They had been attacked. But not according to any rule they understood. They did not know if this was an accident, or the beginning of something far worse. On Earth, the council watched the dark ship slowly rotate in space. The strategist spoke quietly. Now they know. A general asked. Know what? That we can touch them. Above Earth, the alien fleet tightened formation again. Weapon systems powered. Up slightly. Not fully. They were still following rules. Still holding back. They did not want to escalate. They believed escalation was dangerous. Humans believed waiting was worse. The hidden weapon was ready. And humanity was done hiding. The alien fleet went into full alert. For the first time since arriving at Earth, their formation changed with urgency. Ships tightened their positions. Energy shields strengthened. Weapon systems moved from standby to ready. But they still did not fire. That was the rule. No escalation without clear cause. No destruction of a contained species. No unnecessary loss. To the aliens, the darkened ship was a mystery, not a threat. To humanity, it was proof. Proof that the enemy could be touched. Proof that the enemy could be confused. Proof that the rules protecting the aliens could be broken. Inside the underground council chamber, no one celebrated. Faces stayed serious. Come. This was not victory. This was permission. The strategist spoke slowly. They will search for weapons. They will guard ships. They will protect what they think matters. He paused. We will attack what they don't. The humans knew something important now. Alien war doctrine assumed that war begins when weapons fire. Humans had already begun the war long before that. Phase 5 started quietly. Across Earth in orbit, thousands of small human-controlled systems activated at once. Not military systems. Not weapons platforms. Civilian systems. Cargo launch rails. Old space elevators. Industrial construction drones. Mining rigs once used to cut rock and ice. To the aliens, these were tools. To humans, tools had always been weapons in waiting. The first real rule humanity broke was target selection. They did not aim for command ships. They did not aim for weapons arrays. They did not aim for leaders. They aimed for space itself. Using carefully timed gravity pulses from old research platforms, humans created tiny shifts in local gravity wells. Not enough to damage anything. Enough to move everything slightly off balance. Alien ships corrected automatically. That was expected. Then humans did it again. And again. Each correction forced alien systems to work harder. Energy use increased. Heat rose. Processing systems slowed under the strain. Alien commanders noticed. This is inefficient, one said. Stop it, another ordered. But stop what? There was no attack to stop. No enemy fleet to target. No weapons fire to return. Only the universe behaving incorrectly. That made the aliens uneasy. Humans then broke the second rule. No deception during containment. Alien sensors relied on clarity. Truthful data. Perfect readings. Humans fed them lies. Thousands of human-made objects began emitting false signatures. Not strong enough to be seen as weapons. Just enough to look important. Alien systems flagged threats. Then lost them. Then found them again somewhere else. Phantom fleets appeared and vanished. Alien commanders redirected ships to investigate. Nothing was there. Formation weakened. Humanity watched patiently. Then came the third rule break. No attacks without warning. Humans attacked without announcing anything. Using synchronized timing, human systems created a massive but brief electromagnetic disturbance. Not an EMP, not destructive. Just confusing. Alien ships lost internal synchronization for half a second. Half a second was all humanity needed. Dozens of mining lasers fired at once. Not at ships. At space between ships. The lasers cut nothing. They heated nothing. They passed harmlessly through the void. But the alien shields reacted anyway. Shields were designed to stop threats. They activated. They drained power. And when dozens of shields activated at once for no reason, the fleet's energy balance collapsed. 2 ships lost full power. 1 drifted. Another collided gently with a neighboring vessel. Alien alarms erupted. This was no longer a mystery. This was an attack. But it was an attack without bullets. Without bombs. Without targets. Alien commanders panicked. Return fire, one demanded. On what? Another shouted. There was nothing to shoot. Human systems went silent again. Earth returned to quiet. The aliens stared at their data in disbelief. They were under attack, but could not define how. That was when the alien fleet made its first mistake. They escalated. Not with weapons. With authority. A new message appeared on every screen on Earth. Humanity. Your actions violate containment protocol. Cease immediately. For the first time, the aliens sounded uncertain. Human leaders read the message carefully. Then ignored it. That silence was louder than any response. The aliens had always believed communication controlled war. Humans believed silence could too. Phase 6 began. Human AI systems adjusted behavior patterns. They learned faster now. Alien responses were slower, less precise. Human analysts noticed fear. Yes, fear. Alien movements were no longer perfect. Ships hesitated before correcting. Energy surges spiked unevenly. The aliens were improvising. They were bad at it. Humans exploited that weakness immediately. Old cargo pods were released into orbit. They were empty. What? Alien sensors ignored them. Until humans changed their paths at the last second. Cargo pods slammed into alien shields at slow speeds. No damage. But the shields reacted. Every time. Energy drained. Over and over. Alien engineers tried to adjust shield sensitivity. Humans changed tactics. Now pods barely missed ships. Shields still reacted. Alien systems were trapped in a loop. Protect against nothing. Or risk everything. Humanity was forcing the alien fleet to exhaust itself. The aliens finally fired their first weapon. A warning shot. A bright beam of energy burned harmlessly through empty space near Earth. The message was clear. We can destroy you. Humanity did not respond. Instead, they broke the most important rule of all. No use of civilian infrastructure in war. Humans did exactly that. Entire cities shut down briefly. Lights off. Signals off. Then back on. Alien systems lost tracking. Human communications moved through unexpected paths. The planet became noisy, unpredictable, alive. The aliens could no longer isolate military from civilian. Everything was mixed. Everything was dangerous. Alien commanders realized too late what was happening. They had tried to control a species that had survived chaos for thousands of years. Humans had grown up in disorder. They thrived in it. Then the first alien ship truly fell. Not dark. Not drifting. Destroyed. A human-controlled asteroid mining charge, small, precise, was detonated near a weakened alien vessel. The explosion was not large. But the ship's shield was already exhausted. The hull cracked. The ship broke apart silently. For several seconds no one moved. Alien commanders froze. They had lost a ship. Truly lost. The rules had failed. On Earth, the Council watched the debris scatter across space. No cheers. No relief. Only understanding. The strategist spoke quietly. They will panic now. A general nodded. And panic makes them dangerous. Yes, the strategist agreed. But it also makes them human. Above Earth, the alien fleet broke perfect formation for the first time. Ships pulled back. Weapons powered up fully. Orders conflicted. The aliens were no longer certain. And humanity was just getting started. The alien fleet was no longer calm. For the first time since arriving at Earth, their movements lost precision. Ships that once glided in perfect harmony now adjusted late, corrected twice, or hesitated before acting. To an outside observer, the fleet still looked powerful. To the aliens inside it, everything was falling apart. Command channels filled with overlapping signals. Conflicting orders echoed through their network. Some commanders demanded immediate retaliation. Others insisted on restraint. Their rules were colliding with reality. They had never faced an enemy like this. Humanity was not fighting to win territory. Not fighting to prove strength. Not fighting to dominate. Humanity was fighting to survive. And survival had no rules. Inside the alien flagship, senior commanders gathered in emergency council. Their skin tones shifted slightly, an involuntary sign of stress in their species. This behavior is irrational, one commander said sharply. Humans cannot sustain this level of disruption. Another replied, voice tense. They are not sustaining it. They are spreading it. That was the truth. Human attacks were not focused. They were everywhere and nowhere at the same time. No clear front. No central command to destroy. Every attempt to predict the next move failed. Alien sensors struggled to separate threat from noise. Their systems had been designed to fight organized enemies, fleets, formations, weapons. Humans offered none of that. The fleet's energy reserves dropped steadily. Not dangerously yet, but faster than planned. Shields activated too often. Weapons charged and discharged without firing. Waste. Alien doctrine hated waste. On Earth, humanity watched the alien reactions closely. Human analysts noticed the signs immediately. They're overcorrecting, one said. They're scared, another added. The strategist nodded. They've lost confidence in their own systems. That was the real battlefield now. Confidence. Humans pushed harder. Phase 7 began. Human-controlled objects across orbit changed behavior suddenly. Not slowly. Not gently. Suddenly, cargo pods accelerated without warning. Drones reversed direction mid-flight. Satellites cut power, then restarted seconds later. Alien sensors screamed. This time humans added something new. Timing. All disruptions happened just before alien system recalibration cycles. Every time, alien computers fell behind. Delays stacked. Errors multiplied. Alien commanders shouted orders. Reduce sensitivity. No, increase it. Hold position. Pull back. The fleet began to fracture. Some ships followed one order. Others followed another. Formation gaps appeared. Human AIs detected them instantly. On Earth, the Council debated the next move. Push harder, one general said. If we stop now, they recover. The strategist shook his head slowly. No, he replied. Fear needs space to grow. He ordered a pause. Human systems went silent. Again. The sudden quiet terrified the aliens more than the attacks. What are they doing? One alien commander demanded. Why did it stop? No one could answer. Alien ships drifted cautiously, weapons charged, shields glowing. Every sensor scanned space desperately. Nothing. No threats. No signals. No movement. The aliens waited. Minutes passed. Then one ship reported a strange reading. Gravity distortion detected. Another ship reported it too. Then another. The distortions were weak. Harmless. But they were everywhere. Alien commanders tried to map them. They couldn't. The distortions shifted constantly, creating a moving maze of invisible pressure points. Alien ships avoided them instinctively, even though they posed no real danger. That avoidance forced ships into tighter clusters. Humanity wanted that. Then the silence broke. Human systems activated all at once. Mining lasers fired, not to destroy but to mark space with energy traces. Satellites reflected light in blinding patterns. Drones released clouds of harmless particles that confused targeting systems. The alien fleet reacted late. Too late. 3 ships collided. Not violently, but enough. Shields flared. Energy spiked. One ship's core overloaded. The explosion was sudden and bright. Another alien ship was gone. This time there was no doubt. The aliens were losing. Panic spread through the fleet. Some ships pulled back toward deep space. Others tightened defense around command vessels. A few fired warning shots randomly into empty space. That broke another rule. Random fire was forbidden. The alien command structure began to fracture internally. On Earth, civilians finally saw proof. From the night side of the planet, people watched alien ships explode like distant stars. The sky lit up briefly. For the first time since the invasion, people cheered. Not because the war was won, but because it was no longer hopeless. Morale surged. The aliens noticed immediately. Human behavior changed. Cities powered up fully. Communication networks buzzed. Human leaders appeared on screens again. Confidence had returned. That frightened the aliens more than weapons. In the alien flagship, a senior commander made a dangerous suggestion. We should demonstrate full force. The room went silent. Full force meant planetary destruction. Another commander rejected it instantly. That violates every protocol. But containment has failed, the first argued. If humans escape control, they become a long-term threat. The debate grew heated. This had never happened before. Their doctrine had never failed. Finally, the fleet leader made a decision. Prepare limited strike capability, he ordered. Target uninhabited areas only. It was a compromise. And a mistake. Human sensors detected the energy buildup immediately. They're preparing to fire, an analyst warned. The strategist expected this. They're choosing violence, he said calmly. That means they've lost control. He gave the next order. Release Phase 8. The humans activated their boldest move yet. They turned Earth itself into a weapon. Using coordinated atmospheric manipulation, magnetic field shifts, and orbital mass movement, humans created unpredictable environmental effects around the planet. Nothing destructive. Everything chaotic. Alien targeting systems could no longer calculate safe firing paths. Weapons locked, then unlocked, then failed. Alien commanders screamed in frustration. They could not fire without risking their own ships. Earth was no longer a target. It was a trap. The alien fleet tried to retreat. Humanity allowed it. But not cleanly. As ships pulled back, humans disrupted their engines with perfectly timed interference. Retreat became disorderly. Formation collapsed completely. For the first time in galactic history, An alien containment fleet broke apart in fear. Inside the alien flagship, the fleet leader finally admitted the truth. "We misunderstood this species," he said quietly. A junior commander asked the question no one wanted to answer. "What are humans?" The fleet leader looked at the planet below. "They are rule breakers," he said. "They turn weakness into weapons. They survive chaos." Outside, the fleet continued to fall back. Earth remained. Scarred. Angry. Alive. Humanity was no longer cornered. Humanity was hunting. The alien fleet tried to escape. That alone changed everything. Across the galaxy, alien fleets did not retreat. They reorganized. They reinforced. They overwhelmed. They did not run. But now, around Earth, ships were turning away. Engines flared. Formations shattered. Orders contradicted each other. Humanity watched it happen in silence. Inside the council chamber, the strategist stood slowly. "They're no longer controlling the situation," he said. "They're reacting." A general asked quietly, "Do we let them go?" The strategist looked at the data streams flowing across the walls. Alien ships struggling to synchronize. Energy systems unstable. Command networks overloaded. "No," he said calmly. "We let them learn." Phase 9 began. Humanity stopped defending and started commanding. Human AIs shifted from observation to prediction. They no longer waited for alien actions. They anticipated them. Alien ships found themselves reacting to events that had not happened yet. Humans moved pieces on the board the aliens did not know existed. Old satellites, cargo pods, debris fields, all repositioned with precision. The space around Earth became dense with human-controlled movement. To the aliens, it felt like space itself had turned hostile. Alien ships attempting retreat found their paths blocked by sudden gravitational shifts. Engines misfired as interference struck at exactly the wrong moment. Not enough to destroy. Enough to delay. Humans were hurting them. On Earth, something remarkable happened. Human nations stopped acting separately. There were no flags in the command rooms now. No borders. No arguments. Only one species. Humanity had learned, through fear and survival, what unity truly meant. The aliens felt it immediately. Their intelligence systems reported a terrifying fact. Human decision-making had become faster. Not because of better machines. Because humans had stopped debating. They had agreed on one thing. Never again. In the alien flagship, the fleet leader watched Earth grow smaller as they attempted to pull back. "Why are they not destroying us?" a commander asked. The leader answered slowly. "They are choosing how we remember this." That realization chilled the room. Humanity made its next move public. For the first time since the invasion, humans sent a message into space. Not to the fleet. To everyone. Using alien systems they had partially hijacked, humanity broadcast a simple signal across known galactic channels. No threats. No demands. Just observation. "This is Earth. You came to contain us. You failed." Alien commanders intercepted the message in horror. Humans were not hiding anymore. They were announcing themselves. Alien ships tried to jam the broadcast. They couldn't. Humans had learned how their systems worked. The message continued. "We did not destroy your fleet. We could have. We chose not to." That was worse than a threat. That was dominance. Across the alien fleet, morale collapsed. Commanders argued openly. Some demanded surrender. Others demanded retaliation. But there was no plan left. Every plan assumed the enemy followed rules. Humans did not. Humanity unleashed the final demonstration. Not a weapon. A lesson. Using synchronized control of Earth's magnetosphere, orbital masses, and redirected energy, humans created a massive visual effect around the planet. From space, Earth appeared to bend its surroundings. Light curved slightly. Space distorted. It looked impossible. Alien sensors went wild. Planetary scale manipulation detected. That violates all known limits. Humans were not breaking physics. They were using it creatively. To the galaxy watching from afar, it looked like Earth had awakened. Like a sleeping giant opening one eye. Alien ships stopped retreating. They froze. The fleet leader made a decision he never believed he would make. "Open a direct channel," he ordered. The connection formed. For the first time, humans and aliens spoke face to face. The alien leader appeared on human screens, tall, armored, eyes filled with fear masked as control. "You have proven your capability," the alien said. "Containment is no longer viable." The human strategist listened calmly. "You surrounded our planet," he replied. "You cut our sky. You watched us like animals. The alien leader said nothing. The strategist continued. We did what we had to do. The alien leader swallowed. What do you want? That was the moment the galaxy would remember. The human did not ask for territory, did not ask for technology, did not ask for revenge. He said one sentence. Leave. The simplicity shocked the aliens. Leave, the strategist repeated. And never return. The alien leader hesitated. And if we refuse? The human smiled slightly. Then you will learn what we did not do yet. The channel went silent. Alien ships powered engines fully. This time humanity did not interfere. The fleet withdrew rapidly, abandoning containment positions, leaving debris and damaged vessels behind. As the last alien ship crossed beyond Earth's influence, human systems stood down. The war was over. But its meaning was just beginning. On Earth, people celebrated. Cities lit up. Communication networks exploded with relief and joy. Humanity had survived. But in the council chamber, the mood was quieter. We showed them too much, a general said. No, the strategist replied. We showed them enough. Humanity sent one final message. Not just to the retreating fleet. To the galaxy. We are not peaceful because we are weak. We are peaceful because we choose to be. Do not mistake that choice again. The signal echoed across space. Alien observers recorded everything. New classifications were written. Earth was no longer marked as unstable. It was marked as dangerous. Not because of its weapons, but because of its people. The alien fleet vanished into the stars. Earth remained free. Humanity had broken every rule of war and survived. The stars around Earth grew quiet again. For the first time in weeks, no alien shadows crossed the sky. No foreign lights blocked the sun. Space felt empty, but not peaceful. It felt watchful. The alien fleet was gone, but the universe had not forgotten what happened near a small blue planet called Earth. Across the galaxy, signals spread faster than ships ever could. Sensor data, combat logs, emergency reports, footage of alien vessels drifting, colliding, retreating. Every major species received the same conclusion. The containment failed. In alien councils far from Earth, leaders argued late into their cycles. How could one planet do this? They had inferior technology. They followed no doctrine. That last point unsettled them the most. Humanity had not fought like a spacefaring species. They fought like survivors. Records were reviewed again and again. Analysts slowed the footage, replayed the data, examined every anomaly. They saw no superweapon, no planet killer, no impossible technology. They saw something worse. Adaptation. Humans used what they had. Humans changed faster than predictions. Humans turned weakness into advantage. Galactic classification systems were updated quietly. Earth was removed from containment candidate lists. A new label replaced it. Avoid at all costs. On Earth, rebuilding began immediately. Satellites were repaired. Communication networks restored. Power grids stabilized. Humanity worked together in a way never seen before. The invasion had changed something deep inside the species. Old arguments felt small now. Old borders felt fragile. Old fears felt pointless. Humanity had seen the universe. And the universe had blinked first. In the council chamber, leaders reviewed the final reports. Alien technology left behind was catalogued but locked away. No one rushed to use it. We survived without it, one scientist said. We don't need to become them. The strategist nodded. That's what scares them. Humanity did not chase the retreating aliens. That decision confused the galaxy. Many species expected revenge, expansion, retaliation. Humans chose restraint. Not because they were weak, because they had proven they were not. Months passed. Deep space probes detected unusual behavior. Alien trade routes shifted away from Earth's region. Military patrols avoided nearby systems. Stories spread. Some exaggerated. Some lied. Some were accurate. All carried the same message. Do not corner humans. One alien historian recorded the event with brutal honesty. They were given rules. They ignored them. They were given fear. They turned it into a weapon. They were given control. They broke it. Humanity had become a paradox. Peaceful but dangerous. Divided, but unstoppable when united. Technologically young, but strategically terrifying. On Earth, people returned to daily life. Children went to school under clear skies. Planes flew again. Ships sailed. Farmers planted crops. But no one looked at the stars the same way anymore. They knew now. They were not alone. And they were not helpless. In a quiet moment, the strategist stood alone, watching Earth from orbit through a restored satellite feed. The planet turned slowly, peaceful and bright. A young officer asked him, "Do you think they'll come back?" The strategist thought for a long moment. "Yes," he said honestly. "But not like before." "How then?" "They'll come carefully." Humanity had not won a war. They had sent a warning. A warning written not in fire but in fear. Far away in an alien academy, new officers studied a case file labeled simply, Earth Event. The final line of the report was short. This species must never be fully contained. Back on Earth, humanity sent no more messages to the stars. They didn't need to. Silence was enough. The galaxy understood now. Earth was not a prize. It was a boundary. And humanity stood guard over it.